Hey leaders, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. I owe you a leadership video for the week, and so I wanted to sit down today and just really talk to you as a continuation, really, of last week's message, if you tuned in for that. Again, my name is Joe Lenhart. I'm a leadership fan, I'm a leadership teacher, and I'm someone who just happened to be in leadership for the past several decades. Yikes, time is flying by. And really, as a continuation to last week, what I want to talk to you about is a topic that's really been written about a lot over the years and frankly debated a lot by leaders and leadership trainers alike. And so I'm going to talk to you about followers and leaders. So have you ever asked yourself strategically as a leader, if you're trying to grow a business, and again, a lot of people have written about this, but I've lived it and I want to tell you some of those stories. Have you thought about, are you really focused on developing followers, or are you focused on developing leaders in your organization, right? So a lot of great leaders will tell you that lessons learned over the years, some of the greatest lessons learned came from when they didn't develop leaders intentionally, or perhaps they couldn't, right? But those leaders who then made that transition and really invested and spent the time and went out and hired the right leaders and had a strong bench of leaders growing forward, they found that they were able to find exponential growth. And so let me talk to you about that quickly. I started thinking about some of my major stops in my career. And do you know, it's funny, it pans out exactly as the argument does. In every case where I had a significant leadership role and I didn't feel, when I'm being honest with myself, that I did a good job of developing and even recruiting leaders into the organization, our results were worse. We didn't grow at the percentage or the clip that our organization's expectations were, or my expectations were. Next, I started thinking when I had the most success that I've ever had. And there have been several stops where that has happened, where we saw significant growth. And I've always talked to you about when you put people first, great things happen, right? Well, that's true, but more specifically, I'm thinking about an online university where I was tasked with building a really large enrollment team, okay? And it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it was really rewarding. But as I thought back to the 25 to 30 leaders that we promoted in a 5-year period, during a time where we went from 50 reps to 325 reps, I realized that we were well positioned with leadership talent behind me. Okay. And I will always tell you, I stand on their shoulders. The majority of those leaders were smarter than I am. Nevertheless, we set enrollment records, staffing records, and really touched a lot of lives in the jobs that we had. I think of another time at a much smaller university where our task was to recruit high school students all over the country. And we had reps all over the United States, particularly in the Southeast and the East. And we developed some fantastic leaders intentionally. And we used that as a recruiting tool. We built hope with that effort. And eventually what happened was we set significant records for that university, and we continued to grow from an FTE standpoint to record levels. Again, being intentional about developing leaders through my efforts as a mentor and a leader, through training mechanisms, outside investment, through building structure in the organization that gives people a real leadership experience and exposure so that they're ready when it's time to go live and it's time to start to develop more leaders, right? And again, a lot of great authors have talked about this concept out there. I have lived it and I believe in it. And I want to encourage you today to really think about where you are right now in your leadership. Are you developing people that just get in line and follow you? Or are you developing free-thinking leaders that can take the organization to another level? It's food for thought today. I encourage you to get out there and make some ripples this week, friends, and I will talk to you next week with a brand new thought or leadership word of the week. Okay, see ya.